Hello, everyone. This is Pedro Romero reporting on Worlds 2021. I have here with me SaNTaS of Unicorns of Love, who, despite starting off the competition in the play-in stage, lost both of their matches against Detonation Focus Me and Galatasaray. SaNTaS, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. I would like to first know your reactions after playing those first two matches.
The reaction is we lost. Sucks. That's kind of reaction, normal one.
Normal one. And so, um, I mean, you guys had a pretty difficult showings against both teams. You had to fend off the team fights that Galatasaray and DFM showed. And so, can you elaborate on what sort of aspects did you find difficult in trying to win those games against those two teams?
At first game, early game was really fine for us. We played Messi in fights of dragons, and after that it's kind of snowballed. I think biggest problem was team fights because some small mistakes are really deciding these fights. And that second game, we didn't really play well at early game. We didn't snowball with our picks, and enemy did when they're supposed to be a bit behind at early game. And after that, game was a bit hard because who gets the lead at early game rules the game. And after that, they are trying to fight back, but didn't come back.
And so those team fights were basically founded on the drafts that you guys selected. For example, during one of the games you selected Lucian, which was a champion that hasn't actually appeared at all within the LCO throughout this year. And so within that light, what are your thoughts on this current meta within this worlds? And has it been like difficult to accommodate yourselves with?
Yeah, it's always a bit hard to figure out meta on the tournaments because you're playing your comfort champions, enemy playing theirs, and at the start you didn't really know what they're gonna prioritize, and you have no clue at all like what they're gonna play. You can just only guess, and it's a bit hard. And because it's best of one, you have only one chance like to play them, and after that if you already figure out what their prior picks, like you can take revenge. So it's a bit sad story about that. And yeah, I think the more time is coming on tournaments, then easier to feed the meta because you see a lot of picks, seeing how teams are playing. You can even change your priorities on champions. So yeah.
I mean, even so, I mean, with what little time you guys have, you only have like around 2 to 3 more games left in this competition or within this play-in stage. And so, do you feel an increasing sense of urgency regarding this necessity to improve with what little matches remain?
I mean, yeah, of course, because we want to win other two games, so we have a chance to go either best of fives or like some tiebreaks. I don't know how situation will be. And yeah, in next days we will have already information how like Cloud9 and Beyond Gaming played, what they picked. Try to pick up a good draft against them, and hopefully play our best in those two games.
Right, right. And so, I mean, compared to the teams that participated from last year's World, your team basically returns after representing the LCO for what is now 3 years in a row, I believe. I might be wrong though, but
2.5.
nevertheless, yeah. Nevertheless, last year you progressed from the play-ins and played in the group stage. That didn't actually go well for you guys. You went 0-6. But for this go around, what has been the mindset of the team to tackling this year's edition of the competition?
Mm, of course, like target of this worlds to go out of planes again. if it's possible. But as in other side, a year ago we were way stronger than we are right now. So we are trying to get better as a roster we have right now, and doing what we can do to achieve went into main stage.
You mentioned that you felt that you guys were stronger last year. Can you elaborate on that? What was the difference between last year and this year's team?
Meta was different. We were really comfortable in the meta last year. Also, we have different ID, and it's another roster. I think two biggest the difference is meta and roster.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned the position in the ADC of the team throughout this year. I mean, as everybody knows, the team had to constantly switch that position throughout the year. Most specifically in the first half of the year before MSI, but for the summer split, those issues sort of went away with Argonavt being the starter throughout the season or throughout the second half. And so, how did the team successfully synchronize with Argonauts for that summer split, unlike what has happened in spring and MSI?
At spring, when we changed out gadget, we were looking for because in CIS there is not a lot of good ADC players, so we were looking for a European guy. We were doing tryouts and pick up Frappy. But during the split, we figure out it's a bit, for some players, it's a bit hard to play on English communication because of a European guy in the team. And we decided to pick up our substitute dedicated logic to play end of the split and change back to Russian communication. So that's why it was the substitute made it. And after MSI, we were looking for Russian AD, best we can find. So we don't struggle that hard, and it will be Russian communication.
And so you've mentioned the switches in the ADC with Argonaut, and so that kind of begs the question of whether you guys faced any obstacles with your partner throughout the season. How did you mesh with Argonaut personally, so that you guys then arrived to Worlds at the form that you are now?
I mean, from the start of the split and during the split, we were trying to teach Argonavt. He's a really young player. It was his first games on stage actually. Before he played only online, and of all the split, we are trying to teach him how game works, some all basic stuff, macro and matchups on bot, because his game knowledge was not that high on that. So yeah, all the split we were trying to do that, and still doing that during the practice at Worlds.
All right, nice. And so I expect for the team to perform better in the future. Thank you so much, SaNTaS, for taking the time to speak with me. I wish you the best of luck, and also the rest of the team. And with that said, I'll see you hopefully in the future. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks you. You too.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.